it's Doris with all the books, and I am here with a Monday check-in. It's been a while since I've had a check-in or a Friday reads. Life's been just hectic, I guess. I don't know. But I have also, here's the stack. It's pretty close to the camera. I have finished a lot of things today. I had a bunch of stuff ongoing for a while, and so I didn't finish it all this week. I did finish it all this week. I didn't start it all this week, but it feels really rewarding when you finish a bunch at once. But anyway, the first one that I want to mention, I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's the first one that I finished for the BookTube prize, and we're not really supposed to talk about those all that much until the round is over toward the end of March. I will tell you, if you're really super curious and want to investigate, I am reading category A. Yes, and I will link Robert's announcement video with the long list below if you want to do that research, and you can find out which books are in category A. I'm being sneaky here, but wow, that's all I'm gonna say. No, that's not all. It was an unexpected wow. Okay, now I'm really gonna stop. I've read two thus far. One I had read previously, and then the one I just finished. So, book number one, hot off the press. I just finished this and finished chatting about it on Voxer just now, like 10 minutes ago. Jonah's Gourdvine by Zora Neale Hurston. This is her debut novel. I thoroughly loved it. I'm gonna go ahead and say that I'm a die-hard Zora Neale Hurston fan. So I've read two of her novels thus far, that one and Their Eyes Were Watching God, obviously. And I read her biography, Wrapped in Rainbows, last year, December, I believe. And I just love her. I'm really excited to get to Mules and Men, which is a nonfiction piece. But what I love, and I think Jonah's Gourdvine might be my favorite, but she just is so, she was really, really wrapped up in preserving her cultural and linguistic heritage, and she had a talent for that, a real talent. So a lot of this book is in dialogue between characters, and it's written phonetically, so it's a little bit more work to read it if you're not familiar with the I guess southern rural African American dialect, but just true story, I almost killed myself reading this book. I started laughing so much during one part and I had a piece of candy cane in my mouth, and it just went right down my windpipe. I didn't cough or anything. It was small enough that it went down, but I was like, dang, Zora. And it's not that it's hilarious. In fact, it's quite poignant at times, but she just has this way of speaking about deep issues in a really lighthearted manner, and you know, her gift with dialogue, it's so delightful. So anyway, Jonah's Gourdvine is somewhat of a biography of her father's life, fictionalized, and yeah, I loved it. I don't want to spend 2 more minutes talking about Zora. I could, but let me move on to another one that I might gush 2 minutes about. I just finished this one, Kingdom of Copper by S.A. Chakraborty, last night. I was buddy reading this with Cheryl from CR Flames Fan. I will link her video, her channel below, in case you want to check her out. But we loved this. Oh, truly, this is one of those books where you spend a week or two with it and then when you're done and you don't get to spend time in that world anymore, you're sad because it's over. Oh, and then you start freaking out because it's a year or more until the next one is released, so you can see how the story ends, because this is the second in the trilogy. I loved the first one. I thought it was great. This one was even better. This is a case where the second book in the trilogy is, wow. The world building. This is based on a lot of Egyptian references, Muslim references, but a fantasy world, Arabic. You've got the jinn, the genies, but they're jinn, and just, wow, it's a page turner. Cheryl and I just kept turning the pages, and it's paced so well. You never slow down. It's so good. So last night I was on the treadmill reading this while I was walking, and I got so immersed in it that I walked 5 miles when I only planned on walking 3. No kidding. Wow. If you guys are into YA fantasy and you especially want to add some with diversity, this is so good. So entertaining. Okay, and then what else do we have here? Oh, a little tiny one. Kazuo Ishiguro, Come Rain or Come Shine. I am halfway through this tiny guy. I started it this morning and plan to finish it this evening. I am buddy reading this with Sean, the book maniac. I will link him below as well. And yeah, I like what I've read thus far, which is good because I read my first Ishiguro last month and was a little bit bored by it. It was When We Were Orphans. Yeah. So I'm very happy that my second Ishiguro is going well. Sean and I are going to put out a joint conversational video on this one soon, hopefully by next weekend. And I have finished How Long Till Black Future Month by N.K. Jemisin. This is the author of the Broken Earth trilogy, which is a science fiction fantasy trilogy that is really excellent, very deep, and environmentally minded. There are a bunch of short stories in here, like, I don't know, 40 or something. There's like 400 pages. But yeah, this is good. I felt like all of the stories in here were good, like 3-star good. And there were 6 or 7 that I really liked. There's one that's set in the same world as the Broken Earth trilogy, and I especially enjoyed that one. But yeah, overall, I think if you like science fiction a lot, you would enjoy this more than I do. I'm more of a fantasy fiction reader, so I tended to like the ones that were a little more fantasy edge, where I thought this had more science in it. And I finished Shoah, A History of Japan by Shigeru Mizuki, 1926 to 1939. I just want to show this one more time because I think more people need to read it. It's a graphic novel that is beautifully illustrated, and it's just so interesting in the time period that it is looking at. And yeah, there's 4. So it goes all the way up through the 80s. I'm really excited to get all of those. Okay, and then some ongoing, oh wait, let me see if I can find that for you. Here it is. I'm still here. Good thing I know where my books are. I have finally started Winter's Heart by Robert Jordan. I'm listening to this on audiobook with Kate Howe, and not very far. I'm an hour and a half into it, and it's pretty long. But yeah, we enjoy being in this world, and not much to say about it because this is number 9 out of 14. So pretty far into the world. I also have started Neil Gaiman's American Gods on audio. And if you have opinions on this, like not spoiler opinions, obviously, because I'm I think 5 hours into this one, which is also a very long one, so no spoilers please. But if you have opinions about what you think of it, I would love to hear them, because I don't know what I think of it quite yet. The first chapter, if you've read it and you know about the space alien woman that eats the man with her woman parts, I read that and I was like, what did I just read? It reminded me of that scene in Ghostbusters with the levitating woman waiting for the, gatekeeper or the keymaster or whatever he was. Anyway, there are, like, I'm rolling my eyes at the, lecherous old men talking about women quite often. But there's also some really, really neat insights into immigration, other cultures in the United States from other countries through our gods, like leprechauns, let's say. So yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. The Luminaries by Eleanor Catton. I am buddy reading this with Will and Steph from Time to Read. I'm not very far in this one. I think 35 pages. And it took me 3 days to read those 35 pages. But I think I've gotten to the exciting part. I don't know if this has exciting parts. I think it's a slow burn type book. But yeah, hoping it is picking up the pace now. And to be honest, it's so big that I don't want to take it with me anywhere. So I tend to be picking it up at night, thinking I can read 35 pages every night and falling asleep. I get tired at night. What can I say? So hopefully that's going to pick up. And then I was supposed to be reading this with Sean, Kristen Lavransdatter by Sigrid Undset. And Britta Bowler has a video out on it. She's reading the Nobel women all through this year. So yeah, it just kind of got shuffled to the wayside again. It's a big book, so I don't carry it around with me, so it's the last thing I get read. But Ange, I think, and I are going to start reading it again. I read 100 pages, but Ange and I are going to start reading it again tomorrow. So those are the finished and in progress. And I'll be starting a couple more buddy reads tomorrow as well, but I'll save those for next weekend to tell you about. So yeah. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope your week is off to a great start, and I will chat with you soon.